Hello, everyone. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I last made my last video, and wow, it's been a hectic, busy couple of weeks for me. And uh, just a week ago, Cenat, that's Kai space Cenat. It's Cenat. Um, he's a social media influencer. Yeah, he's a big shot. He's got thousands of followers, and he reviews video games. So this Kai Cenat that reviews video games was um, offered a free giveaway. He was going to give away Game Boys and other um, video game consoles. He was going to give away video game consoles and uh, give them away to the public for free. And he made this offering. He said the first people who show up will get the free consoles. So then, this was in New York City, okay? And then thousands of people showed up. And when they didn't get a free console like they were hoping to get, they started a riot. They were jumping on cars, breaking windows, spray painting, graffiti, doing all the things that a riotous crowd does. And they were just teenagers. They were kids. And they were rioting because they didn't get a free video game console like they had been promised. And Kai Cenat beat a hasty retreat out of town with teenagers clinging to the front of his car and the back of his car. They were hanging on. There were two on the front and one in the back hanging onto his car as he drove away. He got charged with inciting a riot, and he's on his way to a jail cell now. But he was a social media influencer, and he was able to influence these teens that admired his video game videos. He was able to persuade them or influence them to come out, and they started a riot. All I have to say is about these kids that were rioting is they need some parental discipline. They need some sort of guiding force in their lives. And if they don't get it at home, maybe the government can provide it. Maybe they can join the army. Maybe they could join the army or the Air Force or the Navy or the Marines and get some discipline in their lives. Because they're out of control. They're out of control and they don't have any parental discipline. Nobody taught them right from wrong. And so they did the wrong thing. They started a riot and they were rioting. And jumping up onto car roofs and causing property damage everywhere they went. Well, they need to learn their lesson. They need to be taught not to get into riots because it can affect their future employment, and they could even have a criminal record because of it. There's got to be some consequences for these kids. I mean, it wasn't just Kai Cenat. I mean, he was just a dumbbell. But these kids, they were the ones who actively participated in rioting when they didn't get their way, when they didn't get a free game console. So that's that story. Now on to the flash mobs. Yes, there have been these flash mobs. All these people gathering at once. 30 to 50 is the usual number for a flash mob. They raided Nordstrom and grabbed $100,000 worth of merchandise and carried it away. And there was another place that was raided that got $300,000 stolen. And then there was a jewelry store that got $900,000 stolen. This is a new thing, these flash mobs. stealing as much money worth of merchandise as they possibly can. And this was in California. This was Los Angeles, where this flash mob raided Nordstrom's. And that is what happens when these ridiculous teenagers get away with rioting. That once they get away with rioting, they move on to harder crimes like shoplifting. And they figure out that they can do it in a group, if they can do it in a flash mob, that it helps them to get away with it. That they're less likely to be prosecuted if they did it as a group than if they did it on their own. So they graduate from riots to flash mob shoplifting. And I can tell you that during the riots, the downtown Minneapolis Neiman Marcus got raided really bad. They tore up the place, and Nordstrom may have been down there too. I'm not sure, but Neiman Marcus really got ripped off. They emptied the whole store. These rioters. So that's what these riots teach these kids, how to do these flash mobs and how to raid a store. It's because of a lack of parental discipline. And again, I would say that best place for them would be the military, because that would straighten them out. They would learn some real discipline and learn some real respect for authority in a military setting. I think they really need it because they don't have the parental guidance. That's the main key, that they don't have parental guidance teaching them right from wrong. So flash mobs, riots, this is all symptoms of the breakdown of our society. Our society is breaking down because of what they're teaching kids in school about America. They're teaching kids now in our paid public elementary and middle and high schools. They're teaching them to hate America. They're teaching them that America wronged all of these minorities and that America should have to pay. And because America should have to pay, these kids are making America pay. They're making America pay every single day. And it's more than America can afford. They're harming America more than America can afford. That's because they were taught in school, when they were away from their parents, to be totally disrespectful of America and everything it stands for. They're never taught anything good about America. They're only taught bad things about America by a bunch of communists. By a bunch of communist teachers and communist professorial historians. And I had a communist history professor myself. I saw it up front and close at hand how these communist history professors operate. And it's not pretty at all. They ask these kids to sacrifice their lives. Those were my professor's words, to sacrifice their lives for the cause. And the cause is the cause against America. They're actually opposed to America. That's what they're for. That's what they stand for. They stand for opposition to America, and they use their freedom of speech. They abuse their freedom of speech to, you guessed it, to criticize America and to put America down any way they can, any way, shape, or form, and to disrespect all of our former presidents. All they talk about is what the president's stance on minorities are. They don't teach them anything else about our great presidents. So you can't be surprised when these flash mobs take over our cities and overrun our our um, stores, our luxury department stores. They overrun them. They overrun them, and they take whatever, they grab whatever they can when they can. It's a flash mob. So do not trust. Do not trust where our liberal leaders are leading us, because they're leading us. No wonder Ron DeSantis made a law in Florida that they couldn't put down the U.S. government. It was because of these communists who are such extremists that they teach kids to hate America, and they teach them nothing but bad things about America. That is why Ron DeSantis passed that law. Not because he was anti-minority or wanted them to teach bad things about minorities or bad things about slavery. It's because they're teaching kids to hate America, and he wanted to inject a little respect for America into the public schools. But I don't like Ron DeSantis, and I'll tell you why I don't like him. Ron DeSantis said that on day one of his administration, if he won, he would start slitting throats of what he called bureaucrats. So people who work for the government, basically. Bureaucrats. He's going to start slitting throats of bureaucrats on day one. Slitting throats. He's going to slit the throats of his political enemies on day one of his administration. Slitting throats. My father held a knife to my throat, as I once told you. And he threatened to slash my throat if I dared tell anyone about his sexual abuse of me. So I have a problem with people who slit throats. Okay, you could call it it's a phobia of mine. I have a phobia of people who slash throats. And I even have a phobia of knives because of my father slashing my throat. I'm scared of knives. And you can use a knife, but I'm always afraid of cutting myself or someone else. So I have a fear of knives because of my father. And because of him, that's why when Ron DeSantis said that he was going to start slashing throats on day one, this isn't the first time he said slashing throats. He said it before. So he's a serial throat slasher. He's a serial throat slasher. He can't get past slashing throats. So if he wants to slash throats, I'm not going to elect him for president. Elect almost anyone else for president other than Ron DeSantis. And you know what I think? You know what I think is the only person who can beat Biden? I think the only person that can beat Biden is Trump. Trump is the only one who can beat Biden. So I'm on Trump's side. I'm on Trump's side because he's the only one. He is the only one who can beat Biden. So I'll be rooting for Trump in his battle against Biden. Yeah, I know Trump took it a step further than DeSantis by saying that he was going to bring Madame Guillotine back. That's cutting off heads, beheading people. But at least he didn't say he was going to slash throats with a knife, because that's disgusting. That's just plain sick. And I can't get over Ron DeSantis saying that. I can't get over him saying that he was going to slash throats, because it makes me sick. Makes me violently physically ill inside thinking of Ron DeSantis slashing throats. So I'm on Trump's side, and I'm going to root for him to become president. And I don't think he's going to bring back Madame Guillotine. I don't believe it. But I didn't like what Ron DeSantis said, and I'm going to be on Trump's side against Biden from now on, because Biden really wants us dead. He wants the people dead, the populace dead, and because he wants the populace dead, I can't conscionably vote for him. I would vote for almost anyone else other than Biden, and it will be Trump that'll be the winner. Trump's going to win. People are rooting for Trump all over this country. They love Trump. Because they love Trump, he's the only one that can beat Biden. It's true. Despite all these criminal charges against him, which I think are overblown, and I think they're exaggerating what he did wrong, and if he did anything wrong at all, that they're exaggerating his wrongdoing. And so, I'm not saying that he didn't do anything criminal, because January 6th was pretty bad. That looked bad for him. That was a bad look for Trump. January 6th was bad, but it was a grab for power, and it didn't look good on him at all. But it's got to be better than slashing throats, that's for sure. And we're just not given much of a choice, are we? Once again, we're given not much of a choice because of the populace. What the populace wants, the populace gets. They get throat slashers if they want them. They get Madame Guillotine if they want it. What the populace wants, the populace gets. That's the nature of a democracy. It's what the masses want. What the masses want, the masses get in a democracy. So that's it. Watch out for flash mobs. Don't get caught in the middle of a flash mob in case you get blamed yourself for what the flash mob did. And stay away from department stores and stay away from places where these flash mobs gather, like in downtown area of cities. That's the most dangerous place right now, is the downtown of these cities. Stay safe and take care, and I'll see you next time.